Hello friends, this is Cauldron. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, where we're going to be starting the new tribal quest today. This came out months ago, but new for me anyway. This is the Omicron stuff, the cafe at the end of the universe. I have my, I hadn't played a Gatherer since the prior expansion, like early in the prior expansion. It's changed a lot, so I've been tinkering around with that. I think I got the gist of it. And I am ready on my little botanist to start here. I remember a bit about this. I mean, I know that this is like the Omicrons are like those robotic group that is looking to start a cafe here. Ordona Guardian, Last Dregs security protocol initiated. Intruders will be eliminated. Stigma 4 is like the AI sort of thing, right? The one that was running it. N7000. This unit welcomes Kakushu and reports that this unit is currently in the process of observing the residual energy exuded by the dead star. The unit's next task is to analyze this data and utilize it in recreating remnants of lost civilizations from the depths of Medion's memories at those enemies. A cultural salvage operation, if you would. Recreating remnants of lost civilizations from Medion's memories. I am curious as hell where this whole thing is going to go. Wrong thing. Jamming Way. Last Dregs managers Jamming Way and N7000 have much to tell you. Jamming Way. Welcome to the Last Dregs. Welcome, Kakushu, to the Last Dregs. At long last, we're open for business, and that's not all. This unit recommends you allow the squeaky life form to elaborate. This recommendation does not extend to other conversations. This is quite an odd couple here. Jamming Way. For one thing, we've cleaned the place up since your last visit. The counter is clean enough to eat off of. We've also recruited additional Omicrons to our cause. They have absolutely naught better to do, and thus are stationed here at all hours. Do you have any customers yet? I fear their lack of customer service experience may prove an issue. However, so I think it best that our first patrons be similar to the people of Aetheris. You lot have been awfully understanding with our slip-ups on the moon. To fulfill that objective, this unit has taken the liberty of ordering the replication of passably intelligent life forms based on data recovered from the dead ends. Okay, so we got like simulations running around. Patron 001 and 002 of the Corellian people. My sound is... Sorry, my sound is... very strange. I might have to adjust this somehow. I don't know how, though. Proud citizen. Prepare to die, traitor. I shall now obliterate your hideous helm and your belligerent brain to ideological alignment with the global community is the only way to restore peace. That and the utter annihilation of our enemies. I remember, this was the race that pushed the button, right? You defiant fighter. You would say that in mongrel. This is the north and south going Zax, for any Seuss fans. You have long since ceased to see beyond the leash around your neck, or the tasteless headwear cutting off oxygen to your brain. The peace you offer is but apathy, self-determination subjugated to the pull of the yoke. Pray that you outlast no freedom in death. These are your chosen patrons? As you can see, it's not going as well as we had hoped. The data indicates that while the Corellians prospered materially under the global community, the anti-establishment freedom fighters fought back against its oppressive social conditions. That is rough. And believable. On both sides. Excuse me, it seems like both of you want the same thing, to put an end to this conflict and live happily ever after. Under certain conditions, namely the horrifying death of the other. Also to murder each other, but that didn't turn out so well for you last time. How about you take a seat and talk this over? So they're making, for any Angel fans of the TV show Angel, this is like very much like Lauren's Bar here. They're trying to make. I suppose this will have to do for the time being. For you see, I have something even more important to show you. A little head scratch from the robot. Can you see it? Here at the end of the universe, a new star has been born. Holy shit. It has. Furthermore, readings confirm that this unidentified star is composed of dynamis. With the Endsinger gone, Ultima Thule should no longer be doomed to despair, yet what kind of star, what civilization could have arisen out of the dynamis of this place? I shudder to think. What do you mean, what civilization? It's presumably it won't be a civilization for billions of years, if ever, or right? That is precisely why this unit recommends eliminating potential threats immediately. The looming specter of a hostile civilization is not conducive to carrying out current orders to live. Have you learned nothing, Omicron N7000? I swear I hadn't read ahead of this. Have you learned nothing from the Corellians? We cannot simply go about annihilating anybody who looks at us askance. Besides, it would be a shame to waste any potential resources the stars has to offer. Not as if we're rolling in tea leaves out here. This unit finds the eminently killable life form's outlook to be intolerably naive. I am already a fan of this. It's no hippo. I mean, nothing's going to beat the hippos, but that's... I'll show you eminently killable, you weird-looking fork. Anyway, I propose that with your help, we first investigate this newborn star. There'll be plenty of time for annihilating later, should such measures be called for. And I have my trusty botany axe ready to go for that. If both eminently killable life forms insist, you may access the research portal from base Omicron. This unit will accompany you for your own safety. Thank you. I look forward to our partnership. So we're about to head over there. Color me impressed by Stigma 4, that is. It's the one that made all of this. Now look sharp, Forky. So Stigma 4 is that little eyeball, that giant AI mastermind eyeball that made this little portal. It's an actual regular sized portal. I don't know why I call everything little. Portal to A4 research. Aha! This is its own thing. Mending unit, portal to the new star. What do you have to say, N7000? This unit has already given the order to increase the instruments and materiel available in A4 research. Potential enemies will not find base Omicron unprepared. Apparently, if we wish hard enough, this will teleport us all the way to the new star. How hard is hard enough? So this is powered by wishes? I guess like it's dynamis related, so sure. FTL travel initialized. I've played Mass Effect 1 and 2, so I know what that means now. What do you see? I mean, this whole Vista is amazing no matter what, but... Did you see that thing? This is... Even just as a video game, I get this feeling of awe just seeing that. Jamming Way. If Ultima Thule is governed by sentiment, does that mean this huge thing came straight from someone's heart? I guess. Is this going to be related to Medion? Like to Medion's wishes and Medion's... I do not know. No, I don't know if they'll put the focus on that. Maybe it'll be related to someone from one of the civilizations she came across that either she destroyed or destroyed itself. Mostly destroyed itself. Initializing scan of planet's surface and core. Environmental scans inconsistent with data from previously recorded planets. No sign of civilization detected. So that's why they were thinking there might be civilization here, because it could have been just a memory recreation, just manifesting, I guess? But no, this is new. Unlike anything seen before... Emergency alert from the last dregs. Beep, boop, beep. Bwah. Bwah. Okay. What was that? What was that guy's? Hank Hill. Very. Whoa. This unit will now transmit directly from Stigma 4. I love the image here. Thumbnail. Emergency alert. Customers designated Patron 1 and 2 resisting delivery of sustenance. Weapons have been drawn. Please advise. Resisting? What in the world did you serve them? Oh, God. As proposed by the flea-ridden manager, staff first attempted to provide patrons with locally rendered carrots. These were rejected as not food. If I went to a restaurant and they just served me some carrots, I would be ready to throw down too. Gordona oil and Omicron grease were also rejected, despite databases indicating these substances fulfill 95% of the criteria for designation as food. I am sorry to hear that word's unsuitable for transmission. This torrent of verbal abuse activated the Gordona Guardian's moderation filters, causing it to set weapon systems to purge. All remaining units have withdrawn behind available cover. So am I going to have... How is this going to be a gathering thing? Am I going... Management support requested. Yeah, this is the deadliest of Karens. I wonder how gatherings... Are we going to have to, like, forage for the best materials for these particular races? I sort of expected this. After all, artificial carrots just aren't right. Where's the fresh and juicy crunch? Where's the slight aftertaste of dirt? Do you not wash your carrots? I guess you're a rabbit. You don't. Have you ever tried any other food? Or yeah, that's right. Puddingway likes food. Likes other food. This may sound far-fetched, but perhaps they don't like carrots. I feel like that would be akin to saying I'm going to make love to this rabbit's spouse. So let me try something less offensive. Have you tried any other food? It's actually probably similarly offensive. I don't know why anyone would bother putting other things in their mouth when there are perfectly good carrots lying about. Just keep reading. Just don't stop. Keep going. We can do this. But very well. I suppose we'll need to concoct some sort of nutritious admixture. Data indicates that cultivation prospects in Ultima Thule are abysmal. To manufacture ingredients would require a dedicated production plant. Could it not be used... What of the new star? Could the new star be used to cultivate the fresh culinary ingredients we need? Perhaps. Oh, revelation face. I love my God. I can see it now. Our customers' contentment upon tasting the most delicious and nutritious cuisine they've ever had. The sight should delight me as much as 100 carats of happiness at least. Look at the stars in it. Well, I guess there's stars in their eyes. He's so cute. That's right. This is governed by wishes. This is Dynamis related. Yeah. Are we creating a carrot field on the planet basically based off your desires? Goodness me. This imagery is really quite beautiful. Sincerely. Scanning soil, acidity, moisture content, and temperature within acceptable parameters. I also like the animation on that like zoop, 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 that scanning laser the Omicron's got. And it's soft under my paws as if it's simply begging for cultivation. Indeed, analysis indicates that 56.2% of cultivars registered to database... What's a cultivar? Things cultivated? During prior conflicts with organic civilizations would be suited to this environment. Crops of the Conquered. Did this star grant my wish? This has got to be like some part of Medion Left Behind, right? I suppose, given the nature of this place, it's not unreasonable to believe that residual energy from Medion's nest could have coalesced into a new star. Nor that said star would be as susceptible to emotion as the rest of the Dynamis around here. That theory is excessively convenient, but the data does not contradict it. I think that's kind of the best you can hope for in a video game. That, however ridiculously convenient, that it's not a retconning anything. Your ability to insult me, even when we're in agreement, never ceases to amaze. Fortunately for you, I have better things to do than bicker with a bucket of bolts right now. Oh, magics of creation! Feel the craving deep within my soul and grant me endless carrots. That is not a monkey's paw wish you really want to mess with, is it? Endless carrots? Have you never seen anything involving any horror fiction involving genies? Perhaps gluttony does not qualify as an emotion. I disagree. It very much is an emotion. Angry rabbit face. Bugger. Yet my hopes for the cafe do, apparently. Is it something about hopes for others versus hopes for oneself? Unlike my, however sincere, visions of carrots specifically, that intangible hope for a potential future took form as tillable earth. In which case, perhaps the joy of as yet unrealized possibility is the key to success here. Reasonable guess. Thus shall we call it Potentialville? Elysion, a joyful land where our hopes may come to rest. Wasn't that that Elysium was the fields of... It was in ancient Greek, it was, or in like Greek mythology, it was just like the heaven, their heaven, Elysium. But in Dante's Inferno, in that story, wasn't it? That was where the dead before the virtuous dead before the coming of Christ came, right? I think that's where they were sent. Like a kind of a pleasant field. The mythology at work here remains alien to this unit, but the overexcited organism speculation has merit. Dynamis has been demonstrated to make the impossible possible. I like its little grabby claws. Look at that proud little bunny. However, the data also shows that it lends itself as easily to ill as good. If the beings of Ultima Thule succumb to despair once more, the consequences will be dire. This unit does not even need to run the calculations to be sure. Yeah, you gotta keep things positive. Oh, boil my carrot! Freaking love the Loporits. Oh, boil my carrots. I forgot all about the customers. We must attend to them with all haste, lest they warp the nature of the star. Do not let angry Karens near a... That's not fair to call them that. I take that back. But do not let angry patrons near Dynamis. Like, you will not... No good will come of it. Please, if you would just sit down for a nice calming cup of tea. I am from the Ted Lasso school of tea opinions. I think tea is like a hot pigeon sweat. I do not like tea. As if I would fall for your ruse a second time. That food you served us made me long for the days of chewing a boot in the trenches. Deeply though it pains me, I must agree. That was the least palatable vegetable I have ever eaten, wartime or no. If I die, my blood is on your hands. Heavens, we can't have the... Well, the carrots aren't that bad. They're just kind of bland. On their own, at least. When just raw carrots, I mean. Heavens, we can't have that. We wish only to satisfy our customers, to bring them joy so they may never again fall to despair. What dishes would bring you joy, if I might ask? Everything we typically eat, from beans to beef, is manufactured according to specifications I could not begin to guess at. But I would take anything even approaching normal at this point. Perhaps a salad to cleanse the palate of that horrid oil. No genetically modified logs in it this time. The carrots, genetically modified logs. I see. 2 salads with completely organic ingredients coming right up. Or at least not whatever form of carrots they generated. How soon your paltry gray matter forgets. There is a dearth of produce in this corner of the universe. Even on this new star, seeds will take time to grow. What can I do about this? You are a botanist, are you not? Surely there must be some manner of edible flora around here, inconspicuous though it may be. Is this would this be different if I were a miner? Would I be like finding the cook tools, that sort of thing? That is, I don't know, maybe that was the case before, but that's kind of wild. Or maybe I just got lucky. Maybe you need to have, maybe one of the future ones will, maybe this is just always botany and I just happen to be a botanist by coincidence right now. You need only relax and wait. We'll serve you a delicious dinner yet, but I don't think they would do that. Not serve a delicious dinner. I don't think they would require you to do all of the gathering jobs. I think you could just do one, right? Promising nodes located. Onions growing in the Restauranteur area show acceptable nutrient composition. Database indicates they may also provide desired flavor to the impending salad. While you do that, we'll see if we can scrounge up a few more ingredients from our stores. Though I still cannot imagine why one would prefer other foodstuffs to carrots, I must admit I find the culinary experimentation rather invigorating. I'm starting to find that too. Alright, let's get some onions. I have your onions. This unit can only hope the other organic life forms will now cease their whining. I will do my best. What are these onions here? A fresh, pungent vegetable primed to conquer the palate of unwitting life forms. The most aggressive food onion description I've ever seen in my life. Quality and quantity of provided ingredients exceed expected parameters. Yours, baby. I knew Kakusha would go above and beyond. Thank you, Jammingway. An alien-looking salad, but probably good. Is it drenched in olive oil, or what's all the yellow? Needless to say, I fear for my life, but now that you've gone to so much trouble, I suppose we should try it. How do you eat with your masks on? An astoundingly robust spectrum of flavor and texture. Much like myself. I was unaware that food could possess such pleasant complexity. Mass-produced dishes pale in comparison. Watch your tongue. The global community solved world hunger through automation, you know. You lot would have scurvy thrice over without it. Still, I must admit, the flavor is unique. Though we replicated a wide variety of cultivars in our factories, that just as many were consigned to history. I see now what a loss that was. An interesting way to approach their... it's just another... like a microcosm of their whole conflict. There is an appeal to having the freedom to choose what you eat, is there not? Though I recognize the validity of your world hunger argument. Perhaps there is room for both perspectives at this table. As this particular waiter observed, our haste to elevate one at the expense of the others has not served us well in the past. Odd words to hear from a freedom fighter, but not wrong. That's the spirit. I'm certain you two have plenty in common if you're willing to hear each other out. In the meantime, why not help us with the gardening? Release some of that pent-up sexual tension that has you shouting at each other all of the time. Think about it. It's honest, non-violent work, and the more you grow, the more new flavors you can experience. Jammingway is going full Tom Sawyer on them. Nice job. We have a patch of land on a new star that has your names on it. Well, your patron designations anyway. What do you say? I cannot claim that I'd be happier on the battlefield. I fought in the name of peace until there was naught left to fight or to fight for. There has to be a better way. Maybe in safeguarding life rather than taking it. I'll find out what that is. Nice change. Go team. What about you, Defiance Fighter? I hesitate to align my ethos with that of a global citizen, yet it is true that we now have the freedom to choose a better future. Hey, you don't have to be bound by the past. Very well. I shall put down my arms and travel a different path this time around. Then it's a truce. Let us plant those vegetables. Oh, I smell that little face rub. I can never get over the face rub. I smell hope. It smells like carrots of happiness, if you were wondering. Perhaps Elysian can smell it too. Inconclusive and 80% nonsensical. However, possibilities of resulting from this unlikely alliance approach the infinite. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Let's see how this new tentative beginning alliance works for how it changes Dynamis. It's got to like create new fields from that potential piece. Look at that. It's like an Easter party right here. Look at these alien-looking vegetables and mushrooms and like Koopa shells. This is awesome. The artistic design here is just peerless. Look at that color palette. The Corellians' heartfelt hopes for a peaceful future have taken form as resplendent gardens. Nevertheless, much of the newborn star remains as unto a blank canvas. What other hopes will the power of Dynamis bring to life? This is pretty lovely. As I was considering with myriad possibilities we might sow upon this unmarred land, I was filled with a strange sense of optimism. Next I knew there were plants all about. You did good. I'm glad for the sudden appearance of the agriformer. It's a relic of the days before we fully automated food production, but it will make nurturing the plants much easier. Yeah, like, it's not like technology is evil. It doesn't have to be. The Corellians seem to be multiplying. I wonder if these ones were pulled from the mire of despair out there just as our patrons. In any case, we're going to need more salad. The Corellians are That's right, they're just all around. There's more of them. Look at them. New creations working in tandem. Or new generated. I don't quite know what they are exactly, but is this... Look at this design. I don't know what this design is supposed to be. It looks like it's supposed to be something. It looks like it looks like musical notes or keys. Maybe like I don't know what these are tying them together, those little pointy parts. Quite a good design if it's just purely artistic. Dynamis-based alterations to the local environment exceed all but the most improbable of projections. Organic customers will be pleased with the vegetation available for consumption. Good. Let's discuss our salad-adjacent matters there. All management units are present. This unit will now run multiple cognitive simulations of the Last Dreg's future. Cognitive simulations of the Last Dreg's future? Or you're going to, like, brainstorm about where it's going to go from here, but robotically. Analysis complete. Simulations suggest that further consultation with reconstructed life forms and changes to the nature of Elysian will both be beneficial in increasing in future customer satisfaction. Friendly interaction appears key to the success of the Last Dregs, which are vital to the ongoing mission to live. I love how much the Omicrons hold on to that command. In other words, if we continue to value our patrons, our cafe will become an ever greater source of joy. This unit would not make such a fanciful projection, but nevertheless agrees with the general trajectory proposed. I will be your manager, yes. Swore I'd never go back to retail. I've only been in retail for a couple of summers, so I've been lucky on that front. Count this unit in. Your cooperation is appreciated. In preparation for the next phase of operations, this unit proposes strategically repositioning Matrix Stigma 4 to this location. Better assist in coordinating. Okay. Hello, eyeball friend. Did you just circle enjoy? Retro thrusters on cooldown, initiating matrix installation. No, you were scanning. I hoped you were like spinning like a happy puppy when they're meeting a friend. Speaking of which, we have one more installation to attend to. Hold still, N7000. Are you installing like a flower crown on its head? Motherfucker. Holy Mother of God. How are you still alive, Jammingway? Perfect. Now I can tell which Omicron the insults will be coming from. It also signifies your role in this operation quite well, does it not? Crude yet effective. This unit will consent to wearing the large-eared lifeform's primitive accessory. Unbelievable. Now, my loyal crew, to work! The possibilities are infinite. Let's go. I can't get over this. Good lord. The last Dregs tribal quest unlocked. Okay. Alright, we've raised our... God, those rabbit ears. We've raised our reputation high enough. Longing so for all the fish. Their translation team never lets me down. N7000 is not emitting any strained whirring or beeping noises, so things must be going well. This unit is pleased to inform you that the culinary ingredient supply has stabilized and relations with reconstructed Corellians are rated as friendly. As conditions for proceeding with the next phase of operations are optimal, this unit has taken the liberty of ordering additional customers. Patron 3 and 4. Alright, who are we getting? Look at them getting along. The cafe has a pleasant ambiance about it these days, wouldn't you say? The Corellians aren't even shouting at each other. It's a good start. But where are our new customers? Are they going to be the head poppers? Patrons were seated according to table with a view protocol and served in accordance with salad protocol. A 224% satisfaction rate, even with salad? I guess. Excellent work, unit. It's always better to speak with customers after they've been fed. Just in general, too. Better to talk with someone after they've finished a meal or while they're eating, or while they're finishing a meal, rather than when they're trying to get to one. The hell are you? These patrons are of the Grebulov race, known for its metallurgy. They look like little, like angler fish. They look like old scuba suits merged with anglerfish. Records indicate that this civilization originated amidst the shining blue seas of its home planet, later adapting to life on its land masses. So they fish and plant life. Oh no, the Grebulovs are sniffling. Oh dear, is the salad not to your liking? The organic life form's preference could confound this unit's logic circuits. Please provide additional data. Okay. Oh, I hope you won't take this personally. It's a perfectly lovely salad, only... Oh, I miss home so much. How are we gonna help with this? Are we gonna need to do fishing for this next quest? Ah, I see. The salad brings back painful memories. Could we get you something else, perhaps? All our friends are dead. This is... Yeah, I don't think food can solve this problem. Wait, how about a cup of tea? Tea makes it worse. Tea is not delicious. What are we going to do? We made our customers cry. We need to catch them before they can escape through the portal to another Ostracon. If we can't cheer them up quickly, their woe will plunge this whole place into despair. It's a good point. You gotta really do have to keep them happy, or else you'll... The chain reaction can be rough. They've escaped. Fear not, anxiety-prone life form. New thing from my bio. The base Omicron perimeter is perpetually patrolled by monitored by patrol units. This unit will transmit recorded data of customer service interactions to aid in detection of rogue patrons. Rogue patrons. Target life forms were deemed annoying but non-threatening, warranting no interaction. Again, this is straight. I could put this straight in any bio I want to write. Annoying but non-threatening. Idling unit. Anomalous data detected in clouded portal transmission record. All right, we found these are the Grebulovs we're looking for. So they have found their way potentially to the head poppers, the Aya. For this Aya unit, the rogue customers may be somewhere nearby. It is indeed the well-armored beings you speak of. They entered our boat crying for water. Their crying produced water as well, which one must assume is why they were carrying on so. That is not so. It would be salty and gross. Regardless, we told them of the wellspring of regret. Perhaps it brings them spiritual comfort, as we once found in our holy places. Or perhaps they continue to weep even now. Alright, we gotta find them before they die of dehydration. Which would be rough for beings we basically just created. Fathomless deep, you followed us all the way out here. It is our responsibility as cafe managers, though we underestimated your determination and lung capacity, I must admit. Do you feel better now that you've seen the water? Probably not. Query, is the imbecilic life form malfunctioning? This unit lacks many of the traits shared by organic races, but even so, the visual data could not be more conclusive. Yeah, they are not doing great still. So bad then? Yes, Jammingway. Yes, bad. We finally escaped those pointy, terrible machines only to find this. We can't dive in this miserable little puddle. It's barely suitable for dipping. I don't want to be in this strange land. I want to go home, but we've lost so much. Did we finally lose our ocean, too? This really is pretty brutal. I'm not certain I understand. Our ocean's truly superior to the lakes. Our seas on the moon don't even have water most of the time. It's like a whole, it's like a, yes. Ah, like an old Charlian, big and blue with a horizon all its own. This unit has never seen such a thing. Omicron protocol is to evaporate significant water sources that may be of use to the enemy before landing. That's kind of a brutal war tactic. There are no oceans in Ultima Thule, that's for certain. There will be soon, though, won't there? There's flopping like a dead fish. Even so, there must be something here that brings back pleasant memories of the sea rather than depressing ones. What's unique about the ocean aside from all the water? The smell, the salty sea breeze, I guess. It's not the... I don't know, it's like someone who's craving dessert telling them they get to smell chocolate, and that's all. I mean, you could try to remake the scent. I don't know if it's going to really work. I mean, I'm sure it will work in this case, but I don't know if I buy that if they do that. This unit acknowledges the potential of this course of action. Comparison of data from the dead ends and records of the Ragnarok show significant similarities between the chemical compositions of the oceans of Aetheris and the Grebulov star. Sea smell it is. What Skakushu sniffs out a sufficiently ocean-scented ingredient will sprinkle it on a delicious dish to raise our customers' spirits. Isolating odoriferous compounds and querying database. So we're gonna make some variation of, like, seaweed? Okay, we're finding something similar. Amino acids are present in dragon scales, but not so easily digested. Soup. This unit suggests worrying about that after allied units reconvene at the last dregs. All right, we'll see what we can figure out. I guess making some kind of seaweed-scented salad. Yeah, we're grabbing pods of Dragonite beans, so this has to be a different quest for every gathering job. It has to be. Replete with amino acids, these legumes smell of the sea, and perhaps slightly of eyeball. Yeah, those other ones are right nearby. Social acceptable of issuing dinner invitations restored to 100%. Yeah, they're doing a lot better. I guess they've just chilled out a little bit. Ingredients confirmed. Loading recipe. All right, hopefully they'll enjoy this kind of semi-seaweed salad. Like, seaweed is delicious in salads, don't get me wrong, but hopefully it helps to quell some of... I mean, I guess cooking isn't meant to be a full replacement for life, but it can bring back some great memories. This salty, tangy, vaguely fishy aroma, how bittersweet it is. Sound design, sort of gross, but I like it. They're little seal people. Astounding, tastes just like the tide. As invigorating flavor as if I've waded in and accidentally swallowed a lungful. I guess that's invigorating. Such fond memories, even if they do sting a bit. We had many a good day, thanks to our beautiful sea. If I could go back to those times, I would treasure the blessings it gave us. I would keep it safe from harm. You're doing good. You're doing a good job. Observational units report rapid changes to Elysian's landscape. All signs point to Grebulov influence. Yeah. What do we got? This unit fears for the cardiovascular system of the excitable life form and recommends not keeping it in suspense any longer. What does this look like now? Wait. It didn't hit me until just now. Are these the races? This is one of the races that we saw in the dungeon. I don't remember the dungeon's name, but this is one of the when we're skipping through time for all the different memories of the different worlds. This is one of those, isn't it? From the profound love and appreciation, the Grebulov's ocean has been reborn. It will make a fine home for myriad aquatic creatures. Beautiful. What other hopes will the power of Dynamis bring to life? So this has got to be where, if we have fishing quests, where they take place. It may be a bit smaller than the real thing, but it certainly smelled like an ocean to me. And did you see that happy look on the Grebulov's helmeted little faces? This unit did see and appreciated allied units' assistance in fulfilling this objective. We have land, we have sea. One does wonder what could possibly come next. Not to mention what menu items it will inspire. It's got to be, I mean, it's got to be like Earth next, right? Like maybe an underground cave or something? Or like mushrooms and worms and the like. More importantly, this mission is evolving. Analysis of statements made by the Grebulovs, as well as their overall demeanor, indicates their memories originated just prior to their star's ultimate demise. Once reconstructed, the individuals initially remained in a state of deep despair over what had befallen their world and its seas in particular. Via Operation Soup, however, cafe management restored to them their will to carry on. These events have caused this unit to reevaluate the significance of the current mission. Significance and satisfaction with current orders are now rated as high. Yet this unit has unresolved queries. Metaphysically, this unit and other life forms in Ultima Thule are not but simulations. Memories reconstructed with Dynamis. Regardless of our actions, can these lives truly be categorized as meaningful? I mean, the Dynamis, I feel like the fact that that the world is changing in response to them is a sign that the emotions being felt are real. So I think that's a yes. Not to cut your existential crisis short, Bolthead, but do we not have data proving you're as metaphysically significant as anyone else? Our customers affected the Dynamis of Elysian, and that's a fact. That's what I'm saying. Me and Jammingway. You lot may be a little different, but your feelings, your hopes, your dreams, those are real. So let's get out there and serve up some smiles, eh? Can't do it without you. I honestly agree in this case. Thank you. Thank you, Jammingway. Affirmative. You got thanked. you weren't called like a weird rabbity life form or whatever. The little face rub. Reputation up. What can we get? We can now get the N7000 card. Yes, please. N7000, complete with the rabbit ears. This unit finds the furry lifeform suggestion difficult to process. Kind of a crappy card, but that's okay. Continuing on with this, we got Omicron at up to fully trusted, so we're ready to progress to rank 5. N7000, and another question. N7000 would laud you for your service to the cafe. Greetings, Kukushu. This unit commends your fulfillment of objectives relating to the care and feeding of Grebulov customers. Pescatarian menu items in particular have met with high approval ratings. Current mission is proceeding as audio records indicate your people would say, swimmingly, ha ha ha. I'm glad it knows that my people love puns. Jammingway. We've learned much from the Corellians and Grebulovs, and the last dregs is now the site of joyful cultural exchange, but don't take our word for it. Come and see. All right, we're coming to see. Eat up, you happy seal. Jammingway. We should keep an eye on that one. They've already polished off 3 bowls of soup today. Well-fed Grebulovs provide important mission data. Soup-related sacrifices must be made. Oh, you like making customers happy, admit it. Does it like anything? This unit merely acknowledges customer satisfaction as more conducive to mission objectives than mutual hostility. Speaking of which, Patron 005 and Patron 006 should be closely monitored. This is the next group. Try and change the subject on me, will... Wait, who are Patron 5 and 6? The 2 in white? Are those... Not Asians. I guess we don't... We know they're in ropes, that's about all. Hail, newcome patrons. I, Jammingway, would like to personally welcome you to the Last Dregs. Can you tell me a bit about your home star? Ominous figure. What's the face reveal gonna be? Analyzing metaphysical waveform, nihilism protocols activated. Beep, beep, beep. It has shared in our truth and shed the self. This is well. The universe, too, is finite. Only in death may we embrace true infinity. So this is the, gosh, it's been so long since I've played the main story and played, like, through the Ultima Thule questline, but these are the people whose heads are like, pop. Did you just assassinate my barista? Why would you do that? I love that that's a sentence in this. Situation analysis complete. New customers are of the Nibiran civilization. Their society eliminated concepts deemed unpleasant by organic life forms such as war and death. In doing so, individuals attained... Oh, so this is different. No, this is not different. This is that group. Attained physical immortality and a state of unified comprehension. Their projections were insufficient, however. The Nibiran people only realized that the elimination of strife would similarly destroy their sources of joy when it was too late. At that point, they jointly decided it would be preferable to return to non-existence. This is... I'm remembering... one of the moments that really stuck with me from this expansion, one of the many moments, was when Medion was kind of just as she was turning herself black, and she was going through the different races she met. And I do remember her talking there about, like, one race sought to, you know, eliminate all things that did not bring joy, and they found that joy in the absence of misery, joy lost its savor, or something like that. I feel like this is that group. She brought up a couple. This could be someone else. Pardon this unit for a moment. Halting shutdown processes. Troubleshooter initialized. repair features, and self-determination algorithm restored. The bunny ears just make this. Welcome back, barista. Why have you returned this being to the finite? The golden mercy of Ra-La was so close at hand. Oh, no, this is the group who we saw in the, in that dungeon where, like, everything was an illusion at the end. Oh, gosh, I'm terrible with names, especially when I don't see them that often. Sweet mother, this is terrifying. Cultural exchange be damned. We can't let them near the other patrons. On the contrary, this unit believes that exposure to other civilizations may benefit these customers, and invites them to tour the local simulations of dead worlds. To be certain, the nature of other civilizations is a long-held curiosity of ours. It may be interesting to discuss their inherent futility. That is the spirit. I love the dialogue for N7000. All societies in Ultima Thule are subject to unique manifestations of despair, so this unit recommends comparing each to the tragic perfection of Nibiruun. We are in favor. To arrive at philosophical resonance with such beings will fill much time with blessed obliteration. Before blessed obliteration. Yeah, you might as well play some video games before blessed obliteration arrives. That's what I say. What the hells, or I hope you have a plan to prevent this place from falling to despair. Let's go with what the hells. That gets across what we mean. You have already demonstrated to the peoples of Ultima Thule that despair can be overcome. Projections indicate that once restored, hope is not so easily extinguished. That is a beautiful statement, bunny-eared robot. So you think they'll be able to help each other like you saved M104 just now? I suppose I should be glad that they took you up on it. Those Nibiruun make my fur stand on end. I don't want them anywhere near Elysian. It's a pretty creepy design. I love the masks they made for them. It would be nice if we could cure them of their ennui, of course, but I cannot see how. The Nibiruun are the last dead civilization with sufficient data for replication. Should it prove impossible to turn them into satisfied customers, the probability of further developments on Elysian is low. Oh, that's frustrating. Why must they be so much scarier than the other two? I retract my complaints about our soup budget. I don't know how we're gonna... I guess we're just gonna observe. Having a thonk. Well, what if we invite patrons from another civilization instead? The Aya, for instance. That's the group. Yeah, that's who... I mean, very similar, at least. There's no reason we have to build all of our own customers. And they seem rather thoughtful. At the very least, it would make good practice in philosophical debate. This unit cannot guarantee that any amount of practice would prepare you to treat with the Nibiruun. However, it agrees that inviting local life forms to the last dregs would be good for business. And the AI, I think, would be good practice. I mean, I basically mixed them up in terms of... They seem very similar in their approaches and challenges and despair, in their flavor of despair. I sound like an anime villain talking about the flavors of despair. Hemingway, I probably should have asked beforehand, but do the Aya have mouths? That seems a rather important detail in this context. I don't know how they will ingest food. That is a great question. Current objective, convince prospective Aya patrons of the desirability of last dreg sustenance. We'll search for potential customers in this vicinity. Can you ask around at the scary stone circle where everyone stares at the sky? Thanks in advance. I will... Yes, we'll check there. I think this stone circle is where they, like, consume food, right? This is where the feast happens. That never happened. Argumentative Aya. I even gave the Aya the same voices as the Nibiruun. A venue for replenishment and discourse, you say? We once visited similar establishments. They are memorialized today through the existence of our restaurant, where we traditionalists gather to restore our ether and vent our petty miseries upon one another. Your civilization is young, so perhaps you do not yet understand that one such location is more than enough. Even the most transcendent minds can only withstand so much vacuous discourse. Yeah, now I remember why I gave it the Moonanite voice from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Specifically the high Moonanite voice, the like condescending voice. The corporeal beings, sophisticate. Sophistic. Sophisticate. Sophistic is like good at rhetoric, like persuasive. The corporeal beings derive meaning from patronizing this cafe, you say? Felicitations. Personally, I have long since parted from such material concerns in favor of staring contemplatively into the abyss. I personally prefer playing Elden Ring, but that's another option. To begin chasing hopes and dreams now would be to betray my very principles. That's fair. If it is any comfort in your frivolous pursuits, know that I too likely once sought meaning, though I can no longer recall such a time. Now, if you will excuse me, there is much staring to be done. This is like, I feel like this is what a cat would say if a cat could talk. I too once chased the fishing pole toy. I have since given up the chase. What is your report, Kukushu? One would think that they could at least show a bit of respect to you of all people, out of self-preservation if not else. The probability of further developments on Elysian is now infinitesimal. I don't know how we're gonna break through. Maybe there's gonna be some that just are in the mood to pass the time in a different way. No, I refuse to give up. Their terrible attitudes are all the more reason to make them see the light. Between the three of us, we will get them to enjoy themselves. I feel like N7000 actually has a better chance of breaking through to them than either Jammingway or me. Or I? Implicit threat acknowledged, initializing joint operation protocols. However, this unit must also acknowledge the non-zero probability of failure. In such a scenario, the odds of ever securing the patronage of the Aya and Nibiruun must be revised to hopeless. Projections indicate that the business may not survive this outcome. You're as bad as they are sometimes. Do you know that? That's why I think that they will be a perfect match for like the perfect salesperson, sales robot, sales robunny to this scenario. Kukusha, you mentioned that the Aya once offered you food, did you not? So they don't consider themselves beyond the concept of repast. There must be a way to build on that to make them understand. It's a good idea. How are we going to do this? You interrupt my staring once again. Curious, is this a physical compulsion? Request. No, we're simply seeking an enlightened opinion. You seem very focused, so surely none would be better suited to answer a few questions. I suppose that would be within the bounds of my principles, and as time is inherently meaningless, you will not cost me what might otherwise have mattered. Pray wait a moment, and I will see if other rationally minded individuals are interested in this diversion. There we go. Huzzah! I leave the debating to you, Kukushu. See if you can stimulate their inquiring minds enough to draw them to the cafe. Sure. Objective, choose the appropriate phrases to generate interest in the last dregs. Okay. Let's stimulate the Aya. The whole first-person thing is such an interesting choice. It really is. Sophisticate Aya. Truly, there is not like a rousing examination to take one's mind off the ceaseless torment of existence. Should we start with 350,173 questions or so, as is customary? Jammingway immediately turns to dust. 350,000? I was thinking more in the neighborhood of 3. I see that in my cognitive agitation, I neglected to account for your base intellect. Carry on with your paltry queries, then. You're such assholes. You have an interesting gustatory sensations. Do you enjoy a good meal? You got to go with gustatory sensations. Anyone who prides themselves on their IQ, they need the big words. Not anyone with a big IQ, but anyone who prides themselves on it at least. We long ago abandoned the pursuit of gustatory sensations. Though we yet consume ether to sustain ourselves, we do not experience any particular sensation beyond the satiation of hunger. Argumentative Ea. That is perfectly sufficient. Though I am curious, you indicated that many beings gather to consume sustenance at your cafe. Do these beings experience gustatory sensations in unison? Does this not confuse and upset them? No, they do it individually. Quite the opposite. Taste is key to customer satisfaction, and our customers are very satisfied, I assure you. I might have misunderstood their query. Curiosity detected. This unit concludes that your question piqued their interest. Excellent. A promising start. The diminutive being suggests that gustatory sensations are a primary consideration for your establishment. Biologically, however, these are not more than secondary mechanism to prevent primitive organisms from starving to death. Explain this contradiction. Because they enrich your life. They make the time that you pass better. Pleasure is an intrinsic good. I think, anyway. Biology is not the only determinant of a good life, you know. Perhaps to truly comprehend our argument requires tasting for yourselves. No, I don't think they are interested. I think experiential arguments are a last resort. I think we want to keep it in the realm of the intellectual. Biology is not the only determinant of a good life. Is it your contention that regardless of their evolutionary purpose, gustatory sensations provide intangible, perhaps psychological or spiritual benefits? Intriguing. Floating head. But ultimately unconvincing. If your aim remains to entice us to your cafe, the perception of sustenance is necessarily determined by the nature of one's gustatory and olfactory organs, so to assume that all beings would experience the same positive outcomes is preposterous. I agree. I actually agree with that. This is where experience comes into play. That is true. Nevertheless... Did I mess up? Tell me, Rabbitbot. Intellectual stimulation is present, but curiosity levels are not yet critical. This unit proposes additional discourse. Okay, we got a third question. They hinted that we would get 3 questions. Though I acknowledge that there is some logic to your argument, we are perhaps at an impasse, given our form's lack of physicality. Nevertheless, I am curious to know what manner of taste you would present us with, had we gustatory organs. The best taste in all of Ultima Thule, nay the universe. A taste of your former lives as corporeal beings, perhaps. I think the latter is at least more honest. Indeed, it is rational to assume that as corporeal beings with unique gustatory organs, we too once found certain sensations particularly stimulating. If your cafe is capable of providing such knowledge of such long-lost sensations, we would welcome the experience. Okay, you do have a sense of nostalgia. If anyone can do it, we can. We've served a variety of civilizations already, with great success, I might add. Yeah, we got him. Operational success imminent. Allied units must remain engaging for critical final phase. All right, the battle is in the home stretch here. The preparation of historically accurate sustenance will be no simple task, yet the hirsute being insists on accomplishing it. That's hirsute, really? Is this compulsion intrinsically or extrinsically motivated? I think it's both, right? It's definitely both. My journal does suggest making you happy will help progress my current quest. Oh my fucking god. It is our deepest and most heartfelt desire to see a hope restored to the universe. We'll go with this. I'm just, this is one of those cases where I want to say this for the lore and character, but I am just flat out curious how they're going to respond to this. And increases in customer satisfaction lead to positive changes in the nearby dynamis. How mathematically sound. I see now this was all a game to you. That is fair enough, given my own reasons for participation. They're self-aware. Yet this behavior is quite unlike the primitive organic beings of our records. I grow increasingly uncertain of your ability to fulfill our desires. I chose the wrong option. Don't regret it. I had to see that. Our wish to create the Aya's favorite flavors is extremely organic, I swear. Primitive, even. Yeah, we messed up. Though the Aya delight in logical argument, acknowledgement of their place as gears in an unfeeling machine of progress has distressed them. Analysis indicates their expectations of allied units have been dampened by this display of cold rationality. Totally worth it. Don't care. I mean, I do care a little bit, but it was worth it. So they want something warmer and fuzzier. In any case, mission objective complete. Allied units' performance will be logged as capable. Excellent. C's get degrees. Up. Their design is so good. We see that you indeed had few questions. When may we partake in sensory experiences? ASAP. Well, first we will need to prepare a full course for gustatory experimentation. Experimentation, you say? That sounds most agreeable. If this unit may suggest it, Kukushu's flesh would make a suitable medium. Oh, like for possession, you're not trying to eat me. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Oh, I quite agree. No one has tasted more tastes than the intrepid Kukushu. Her palate is refined and her bravery unmatched. It's correct. She will be the perfect candidate to try any and all dishes we prepare. Then you need only scan and transmit the sensory perception data to the Aya's consciousness. Not possess, but I see what you mean. Who else but Kukushu? It is unclear at present what their people may have eaten in their corporeal days, but we can begin by finding out what sort of tastes they enjoy, then refine the recipe from there. Regardless, we shall need to fire up the ovens immediately. Last I checked our inventory, the kitchens are well stocked with vegetables, fish, and Charlian cookbooks. The probability that the Aya's historical diet was identical to that of the life forms of Aetheris is astronomically low. This unit proposes incorporating ingredients from other worlds as well. Scanning flavorsome category for ingredient data. Yeah, that's probably smart. Maybe they'll like a cheeseburger, but probably not. Bing! Flora near the vitrified fort may contain content suitable for use as seasoning. Data indicates that organic life forms love seasoning. Don't hesitate to taste test in the field. Yeah, well, I'll just go eat some plants. Pretty reasonable request, I guess. Remaining allied units should proceed to the last dregs for recipe analysis. This unit will answer any further customer questions. All right, see you there. I'll bring the ingredients. Goodbye, Aya friends. Stellar cumin. Despite its alien scent in otherworldly location, this rare spice could not possibly be toxic to mankind, right? Well, we'll find out. The Aya have thus far asked 81,120 questions. This unit can feel the last remnant of its patience slipping. Stellar cumin. All right, have some stellar cumin. It's hopefully not toxic. A timely rescue. Chemical composition of ingredients within expected parameters. And let the experimentation begin. kind of want to try alien cumin. Not half bad if I do say so myself. Dig in, Kakushu. Initializing progressive scan of gustatory inputs. Here we go. We're going to go for the fish head. Oh, look at that excitement. The perfectly ordinary pasta, the seemingly innocuous hamburger. We got to go for the vaguely terrifying fish, right? If we're trying to... If we're theorizing that they won't be super into our food, we got to go for the... On the other hand, the seemingly innocuous hamburger could be like... Instead of a cow, it could be a dragon or something. Let's go with the vaguely terrifying fish. Uh-oh. Was that fish staring into your soul just now? Hopefully not. In any case, its pallid flesh must thoroughly absorb the added alien flavor. You certainly tasted something. Look at that face. Look at this Kakushu face. Oh my god, poor Kakushu. I am so sorry. Yeah, we got to go with the seemingly innocuous hamburger, which I don't expect is a regular hamburger. A regular American hamburger, at least. Oh, maybe it is. You're struck with a sudden certainty that Jammingway either borrowed or stole this recipe from the last stand, although the locally sourced flavoring adds an unexpected spiciness to the medium rare meat inside. Your tongue is now tingly. I really want a cheeseburger now. And I might actually get one tonight. I will. I'm definitely, that's 100% happening. Perfectly ordinary pasta. The pasta is not unlike that of a theorist, although the otherworldly flavor adds a tang of complexity. As for the Aya, surely any gluten-tolerant life form enjoys a massive bowl of carbohydrates. They have to, right? It's the law. Everyone loves a bowl of carbs. Gustatory data received, transmitting to patron 007 and patron 008. How are you going to eat normally? Will just, like, other people get there? That's got to be such a weird experience. So these are the flavors of which you speak. Thank you for helpfully categorizing each as sweet, salty, sour, bittery, savory, or umami. I fear I am quite overcome by the medley. It is impossible to say whether this sensory assault is identical to what I might have once felt when consuming sustenance, yet it is a useful reference to ruminate upon nevertheless. Then it was well worth the effort in my book. Tell me, did any of the dishes strike you as particularly enjoyable? Please say the burger. Up. The first stimulated me in a most pleasing fashion. How was this flavor derived? So you did like the dead fish. The dead fish. You like the weird, terrifying fish. Hopefully all fish we eat are dead. Ah, that was flavored with local ingredients harvested by Kakushu, garnished with powdered miracle shrimp, a type of crustacean the Grebulophs are farming in Elysian. Pulverized crustaceans. The nature of gustatory sensations is inscrutable indeed. That we found these ones pleasing perhaps indicates that we too once consumed mutilated decapods. I cannot imagine why we would have left that behind. I am grateful to have even simulated the experience. I'm glad. I'm sincerely glad. In real life. And there we have it. Do you think this will be enough to bring about more changes to Elysian? Inconclusive, this unit proposes that allied units ascend to scan for signs of change. I think it will. They're back. Very no-face, the mask. It's got to be a I don't know if it's a reference to the no-face mask specifically from Spirited Away, or if both the no-face mask and that are referencing some other part of Japanese culture. Like some common historical, like, thing. Like, oh, everyone in Japan would know that's a such and such mask from used in X, Y, or Z. It's also possible that they're totally different and I'm just misremembering them. Stigma 4 confirms that alterations have occurred. Let us proceed with the scan. What is this? Poke, poke, poke. Are these like jellyfish? Yeah. These creatures certainly weren't here before, but what are they? They put me in mind of Aetherius as jellyfish. No results found in database. Furthermore, these life forms differ from the simulations in Ultima Thule on a molecular level. You mean a new species has been born? Here? It certainly seems like it. Is it so illogical? Elysian's climate is suitable for the growth of complex vegetation, and a significant portion of its surface is occupied by sea. Many life forms have arisen from similar environments. This unit would venture that under these conditions, the Aya's yearning for a corporeal past were sufficient to cause Dynamis to coalesce as organic life. That actually does make sense. That's incredible! New life. It is pretty cute, but beware, it kind of seems to be zappy. Incredibly cute. And really quite beautiful. And such very adorable life you are. Yes, you are. Like unto newborn babes, or so I assume. Eons have passed since we Aya have held a child. Yet it is not is it not conceivable that some part of us remembers, if these creatures arose from our fondness for the past? They may indeed be the nascent forms mentioned in our ancient records. Wow. You're not just getting a snack, you're like rebuilding a part of yourselves. Which I guess is recreating an old recipe you love anyway. I do see a certain resemblance. Would you like to give these little ones a name, then? We lost the meaning to our names long ago, leaving us only the simple phonemic system we now employ for individuals. The suggestion that we might impart the significance of these children via nomenclature is depressingly ludicrous. You gotta do it, though, right? Nevertheless, we shall call them Miumisv, a peculiar name to share, perhaps, but one we may find the meaning in together. I cannot spell that to save my life, but it sounds lovely. Sure. I should like to remain with the Miumis for a time. They doubtless know much of gustatory sensation and other such facets of corporeality. You're gonna kind of learn through them. Gaining sort of a beginner mind sort of state. In serving as their guardians, we may yet reclaim some of what was lost. New life has arisen from the Aya's longing. Nurture and protect the Miumis, for they have much to share. There is yet room for Elysian. Okay, yep. That is an abstract addition to this quest line. I like it. Abstract addition to Elysian. Very alien. It'll be a great deal more difficult to focus with those creatures about. They're so wibbly-wobbly. They are. This unit requests you contain yourself. Energy levels are already low due to patrons' unceaseless querying. I do not envy anyone direct customer and retail customer service. However, this unit does admit to curiosity regarding the new life forms. Though it is probable that Miumis share data with the Aya's genetic memory, possibilities for their development are infinite. This differentiates them from other Dynamis-based life forms. Or maybe they're just one more indication that you lot aren't doomed after all. This place was built for endings, it's true, but we've seen many a beginning. Let's keep that trend going, shall we? Affirmative. Our mission remains one constant among many variables. Rank 5, here we come. Here we are, I guess. We are now respected. What is this that we can get? Lumini. This floating ball of fleshy horror was modeled after an Aya who failed to regain full corporeality. Let's get it. Stigma 4 product manufactured as a warning for those Aya who might rush into attaining a fleshly vessel before properly recalling the shape of their corporeal form. For those yearning to experience the taste of ice cream, however, the reward may be worth the risks. What I would not give to don proper fleshy raiments once more before I pass into the void. Envious Aya. I would give a lot too for that. Oh, I think I had it out and must have dismissed it. No, I have it. Here it is. You know what? To obtain ice cream, this is a price worth paying. All right, we've just peaked at rank, maxed out rank 5 of the Omicrons, and we're continuing. The Restaurateur's Guide to the Dragonstar. Last Dregs management would discuss further the development of your business plan. Mew Misf status thriving. According to recent scans, the Aya also emit pleased vibrations. That's good. Jamming Way. They aren't the only ones. Members of quite a few civilizations have been enjoying watching the Mew Misf frolic, and customer satisfaction has risen accordingly. On that note, it is just about time for our regular rounds at the cafe. Care to join? Yeah, it sounds like we're going to be serving dragons soon. As you can see, the Last Dregs is now patronized by entities of all ages, and we have expanded our beverage range to accommodate both the young and the very, very old accordingly. Now that Mew Misf and the Aya have settled in, the timing to introduce new patrons is optimal. As a matter of fact, I'm just thinking the same. Look at these two. One mind. We've had such good luck with the Aya, it seems only natural that we invite the dragons next. They too are residents of Ultima Thule after all. Shall this unit scan your cranial cavern for irregularities? We Omicrons are the dragon's mortal enemies. They would not willingly break bread or any other substance with us. The quest for peace is about to become personal for this Omicron. Projections indicate they may be traumatized by the very suggestion. Are you worried about them? How endearing! Yet if Ultima Thule... He's gonna kill you. It's gonna kill you. They're gonna kill you? If Ultima Thule is to move forward, its people cannot remain mired in the conflicts of the past. It would befoul the dynamis, for one thing, and bugger up our hard work. You must learn to live in harmony. Acknowledged, but this unit will excuse itself from promotional efforts. The probability of the Dragonstar's life forms reacting adversely to Omicron presence in their territory exceeds acceptable parameters. That's fair. Let's not have you be the person to make the initial pitch. Parameters schmarameters. It may be risky, but if the dragons are to believe that the Omicrons have turned over a new leaf, I can think of no better ambassador. I mean, you're right. It's just super high risk. They just say screw you altogether. You may not be able to rewind time and unconquer the Dragonstar, but you can certainly strive to do better in the future we're creating. Dynamis makes the impossible possible. You said so yourself. Encouragement tentatively internalized. This unit will attempt to serve as an ambassador for peace. Good luck. And it's off to Restauranteur we go. I mean, of course it's going to work out, but like... I don't know how they get past that. I guess they get past it the same way everyone else has gotten past it. It's just because we've seen more of the dragons. So, and we've seen dragons get past that shit in the past. They can do this. I believe in you, Restauranteur. Beleaguered dragon. Look at this meeting of the minds. This unit has detected an additional hurdle to fulfilling the current objective. Excuse me, can I interest you in anything? Anything at all? Hello, ignoring me won't make me go away. Yep, no, N7000 has tried that. I wondered how a tuft of floss did come to clamor so, but 'tis no more than one of thy strange companions. This explaineth much. Wilt thou not leave me to my slumber? I like that the Dragonstar has floss. So long have I been weary. We have just the thing for that. Coffee. Delectable cuisine as well. Why not stop by the last dregs and see what the civilizations of Ultima Thule are raving about? Do you even have anything for the size of this dragon? I realize you may have complicated feelings about my Omicron friend here, but we would nevertheless offer you a place to eat, drink, and be merry. Art thou attempting to provoke me, though? I suppose it matters not. Neither grief nor hate stir within me, for my flame hath long since flickered and died. At least they don't hate you? The news that you do not wish to inflict vengeful obliteration upon the Alphatron star should be welcome. However, this unit finds it unexpectedly difficult to process. Are you certain you do not desire revenge? Not even Omicron? I wonder if it does kind of want that. Because that would be some form of closure to be punished. It may be advisable to gnaw on this unit in the name of experimentation, lest your conclusion be premature. Yeah, it definitely wants punishment. Not even in a jokey S&M sort of way. To what end? The destruction of a single machine changeth naught, meaneth naught. Aye, we dragons once revelled as thou wouldst have me do. In the mountain's shadow did we gather to sing, yet even our melodies are naught but memory now. If I no longer weep for the silence machine, why dost thou believe I have aught to spare for thee? Yeah, just empty and wrecked at this point. Conversational difficulty levels critical. This unit requests permission to retreat. I've been there. Not so fast. The Corellians' apocalyptic aggression didn't stop us, and neither will this dragon's depression. All of our patrons have needed a little help in learning to hope again. It's just a matter of discerning what they value and how to provide it. This cat first flying today. Fortunately, we have the great Kakushu at our side. I've heard tell that you have no little experience treating with dragons. No, I have quite a lot, that's true. And though the dragons here may not recall their passions, if the Dragon Song War is any indication, their brethren on Aetheris possess no such problem. Surely there's at least one dragon of your acquaintance with whom we can consult. Ah, really? Vritra or Vidofnir? I think Vritra is more passionate in this case. I don't know, they're both fine. Vritra will explain in terms we can understand. Vidofnir is wise and has been kind. Let's go with Vritra. We have a more recent relationship with Vritra. And closer, probably. Vritra? Satrap of Razatan? Oh, no, I wouldn't dream of calling him away from his work for this. Oh, okay. Vidofnir, why'd you even give me the choice? I don't like that. Vidofnir it is, then. As a leader of her people and an arbiter of peace, she must have some advice about disagreeable dragons. Like, it's a fine option. Like, I like Vritra, I like Vidofnir, but I don't know. There's got to be better ways than getting my hopes up for an option that's not a real option. Jamming Way. And she doesn't sound like the sort to let her elders on the Dragonstar wallow for eternity. Aetheris' historical records are not registered to this unit's database, but the proposed course sounds logical as described. It is statistically probable that they will not welcome assistance from a former enemy, but this unit believes we must restore hope to dragonkind. Then it's decided. Do we need to pack chassis, wax, or anything? This unit must remain in Ultima Thule to ensure the smooth operation of the last dregs while allied life forms are away. However, a portable communications drone can be dispatched for the journey. Please let it be a robot bunny. Convenient. Let's make for Annex Shrine post-haste. I have not been back here in a while. In one long minute since I've been back to Annex Shrine. You're like over here, right? Yeah. Dost thou ever rest, little one? Thou hast brought salvation to the star, yet thy countenance bespeaks a mission. Good to see you, Tuvidofnir. Their ridiculous open mouth animations. The will of the star hath blessed thee with charming companions. Yet to think I should meet one of the machines that drove my grandsire from the Dragonstar is like unto a bedtime fable. You have the chance to be the person who shows the great morality in that bedtime fable. Fear not, for I shall not rebuke thee. Thou wouldst not be the first to call an old foe friend. 'Tis the fate of the dragons that concerneth me. To condemn them to an empty existence forevermore would be cruel indeed. This unit did not expect to find you so pleasant, alive. It is difficult to locate the proper lexical data. Yeah, both of them probably. Hemingway shared much data about the dragons of Aetheris during the journey, but this unit struggles to process that those who embrace an ageless existence upon this star are of the same species as the life forms we encountered in Ultima Thule. Your dragons too faced countless battles and great suffering, yet they emerged whole. This unit wonders how much can be attributed to faith in their allies, and how much to the resilience of their hope, or if these two variables are one and the same. Which brings us back to our purpose here. Is there anything we can say to the dragons of Ultima Thule that might open their hearts to embrace hope once more? I mean, maybe learning about the dragons on... I guess they already have learned about the dragons on Aetheris. My sire, Hraesvelgr, oft spoke of Midgardsormr's tales of the Dragonstar, for from these memories was our Somal born. Oh! I did not know that. I assumed it was just a natural occurring thing. But no, you created it to mimic what you saw in the Dragonstar, I guess. 'Tis mine understanding that the Dragonstar possessed a sacred peak resplendent, and 'twas my grandsire's longing for its heights that drew him to nest upon Aetheris. Mine ancestors doubtless felt its loss as keenly, yet their despair hath given way to exhaustion. The memory 'tis but a dull ache in their hearts. So rekindle the memories. Hit them with the nostalgia. Restore to them memory untainted by bitterness, and they may yet be inspired as my grandsire was. Words, however, shall not suffice. If not words, what about taste? We managed to evoke... That's right, this is a chef thing. We managed to evoke joyful recollections via soup before. Surely we can do the same for the dragons. That little jaunty headcock. Previous customer data supports this hypothesis. However, dragons do not possess a culinary tradition as such. As with the Grebulovs, we must think outside standard parameters. I guess, are you going to make, like, hunting grounds for them? Oh, I believe I have precisely what we need. Among the recipes provided by our Sharlayan collaborators is one from Ishgard, a dessert resembling Somal. Like a mountain of pudding? If that's not standard outside standard parameters, I don't know what is. That's not what I was thinking. A curious proposal, but thou art welcome to attempt it. My grandsire once spoke of the pale blossoms northeast of Annex Trine, as like unto those of the Dragonstar's valleys. Collect them with my blessing. I mean, I guess. This is not the route I would have gone. It sounds like we shall be gazing upon a resplendent and edible peak in no time. This unit requests that you return to the last dregs before initiating baking protocols. The utility of this drone's tiny digits is limited. Oh, poor little N7000. Maybe N7 at this point. No 1000, just straight Mass Effect. Somal Bloom, a flower of the seventh heaven species bound to provoke nostalgia in particularly ancient dragons. You better hope so. Drone battery low. This unit has returned it to the charging station despite Hemingway's protests. Alright, have some Somal Blooms and probably more than you need, but that's okay. You can save the rest for later. Ingredients consistent with Dragonstar environmental records. Please initiate baking protocols. Alright, we're cooking. Baking. I guess baking's different from cooking, right? Remember, machine, 'tis only at the purported request of my kin across the expanse that I humor thee. Do not test my patience over long. We wouldn't dream of it. Now, if you'll come this way, where is it going to sit? I guess there's like a outdoor area. That's the portion you're giving? Okay. I'm sure it's going to work, and I'm sure you have the best intentions, but again, this is definitely not the route I would have gone. Thy tiny hands wrought this for my sake. It looks great and all, but... Yes, Kakushu's less tiny... Kakushu's equally tiny hands, or comparably tiny hands, and N7000's spinny whatsits also helped. We worked hard to make it as much like the holy peak of the Dragonstar as possible. Do you like it? Imagine they're probably pretty overwhelmed by emotions. Which would be a great thing, whatever those emotions are. You gonna roar? It's difficult to say. My palate recalleth not what flavors once appealed. Visually, however, I see it. The peaks dividing the Dragonstar in twain, bright clouds to shroud them. I feel the wind upon my scales, and I remember. Food does have that. It means having one of those ratatouille moments. Passing strange place. Not taste-wise, but visually, at least. Strange place this, yet for the newfound bond with my distant kin, and these memories gifted unto me, I am grateful. This gesture hath touched me, of that be certain. It's all right to miss home, everyone does sometimes. Indeed, how beautiful it was, our Dragonstar. How joyfully its winds did brace our wings. I should like my kin to remember those days, no longer to mourn them, but dream of them once more. That's tough to do, when it's not really there to not mourn it. It's possible, but boy is it tough. This unit is pleased to hear of your spiritual revival. However, it would be remiss of this unit to not remind you that our establishment enjoys a large Omicron staff. Your kin would be most welcome to join you, but would this not be intolerable to them? Metal warrior, thou art not the same as thou once wert. No, it is very much not. No more are we. I know not what to make of this future, but I would linger no longer in the past. That is why you created this place, is it not? Logic circuits complete, threat level nominal, business status booming. However, this unit is experiencing an anomalous overflow. Conditions mathematically insufficient to generate current levels of mission satisfaction. Further analysis required, initializing additional processors. Like a tier? Like a robot tier? Or just a spurt of anomalous emotion? Are you sure you aren't just happy? You know, like a squishy-wishy organic life form? Don't push it jamming way. An illogical life form such as yourself could not begin to understand this unit's internal workings. Terminating interaction, get wrecked. Don't you dare go into sleep mode, coward. It's a pretty good tool. We cannot let N7000's emotional dysfunction detract from our success. To Elysian, we'll drag it there if we must. Are we actually gonna... We actually are gonna drag it, aren't we? Did you need to give the dragon a fork, knife, and spoon? I don't know that that was a required part of the presentation. Look at that little, look at our little cafe booming. I love coffee shops. I really do. I don't drink coffee much, but they're a place that helps me focus. They are a place that brings me joy, a place that lets me relax and spend some time pleasantly zoned in on something, reading or watching something, writing, studying. So I have a special fondness for these quests. Please refrain from vibrating your vocal organs. This unit will continue processing anomalous satisfaction levels once Elysian status has been verified. All right, let's see what's changed. Dragon eggs. Once more. Even if it's just a dream of them. Look at the colors in this place. I do hope that winds bless yonder peak. I mean, you can kind of make your own heaven here. Whether it's real or not. Look at those cosmic cuties. Inspiration has touched the dragons' hearts and given form to a nostalgic vista from the Dragonstar, just like the dessert. What are their hopes and dreams will the power of Dynamis bring to life? I love this reversal, this flip of what Dynamis initially was when Medion was in charge of it. What a majestic sight that was, and so pointy. Harmony between dragons and Omicrons defies any and all prior projections. A rousing success then. Yeah, go team. Given historical events, it should not be possible per the laws of the universe. Only in Ultima Thule could such a thing occur. In that case, I'd better not hear you question our potential ever again. This is definitive proof that we can do anything if we put our minds to it, no matter what your projections say. I was created by someone too, you know, but I don't believe that being artificial makes our experiences any less worthwhile. Yeah, we're all kind of artificial, aren't we? We're here and we're making a difference. Have a little faith. That's what living is all about. Yeah, everyone's artificial. It's just a question of where you draw the line. And that can be anywhere. This unit did not realize you were plagued by similar existential doubts, though it doesn't explain your desire to pry into psyches you do not understand. That is, you know what? A backhanded compliment is one of the best compliments and probably only compliments you'll get from N7000. Nevertheless, this unit will produce noises of generalized validation. Well, good. We've created a miracle here today, as well as new bonds between dragonkind that span time and space. I propose we bask in that glory for a while you level up your rep once more. Tribal quest complete. And I think we only have one more tier to go. So we can get now a tabletop item. Oh, we can get the dessert. We get the Dragonstar Almiron. Okay. An ode to the Dragonstar in dessert form. Fittingly, perhaps, this edible delight is a reimagining of the Psalmalt Heart. That's really cool. Okay. I like it. On we go. We have reached the next stage of this quest line where we're going to try nothing. We got mostly Heartless next. This is for which tier? To go from 6 to 7. It's possible that your projections regarding the consequences of the current mission were insufficient. Reports from behind the counter indicate that the dragons have achieved social integration with other customers. This is ideal. Excellent. Jammingway, have you seen them in Elysian? They're flying again. Goodness, I'm so happy we could help. That's pretty cool. You're feeling comfortable. To my eye, it looks as if we're at least as popular as the last stand now, albeit with a more diverse clientele. I'll let you be the judge of that now. Shift protocols engaged. I'll never get over the bunny ears. Oh, I just got it. The Scott Adams, the Douglas Adams joke. The mostly harmless, mostly heartless. Jamming way. I love the smell of carrot coffee in the eternal twilight. God, this place is actually a pit of despair. And look at all the contented customers enjoying our cuisine. 'Tis more than I could have ever imagined when I proposed this idea. This has got to be satisfying for old Jamming way. This unit is struggling to generate areas for improvement. Are all cafe objectives now complete? Probably not. I don't think so, right? I suppose you could say that, though it's a strange way to view one's accomplishments. Why do you ask? In accordance with the directive to all Alphatron registered units to live, this unit's mission is to assist fallen civilizations in reclaiming lost hope through stimulation, soup, or other means necessary. It appears this has been accomplished. Are you going to shut down now or something? If so, then this unit must complete its performance evaluation immediately. Ah, okay. Performance evaluation, that sounds dreadfully dull. It can be dull or it can be stressful as hell. Rather, yes. Nevertheless, this unit must adhere to standard operating protocol and analyze the results of our cultural preservation efforts. Evaluation results will determine whether this unit may continue to embrace the familiar inertia of the current mission. This is speaking to me because I actually have a performance review I have to kind of prep for this coming week. If all potential objectives have been fulfilled, it will once again consign itself to hibernation. No, you gotta set new goals. You meet some, you set new ones. Well, you can, I mean, it's tricky because you don't want to be on this perpetual loop of goalpost shifting. I think you take satisfaction, then you find new things. Allied units may wish to know that interim evaluations indicate the latter result is likely. This unit has collected more than sufficient data proving that, with the appropriate stimulation, even despairing life forms may once again hope. Are you going to be the next on that list? No further research on this subject is required. Logically speaking, to continue along the current trajectory would be a waste of energy. So, do you eat anything? Can we feed you, like, delicious electricity? Oh, you are really fluffing my fur right now. It's like you weren't even listening to my lectures, plural. We are finally at the point where we can operate this cafe without one civilization or another reinventing the apocalypse, and you want to kick the bucket. Come a little closer and I'll kick it for you. This unit reminds the screeching life form that Omicron decision-making algorithms do not prioritize emotion. Well, they should. This mission has never been about experimental data, and you know it. Waste of energy, my furry arse. Our feelings matter to the Dynamis. They matter to the universe, so why don't they matter to you? This unit does not know what to tell you. I was about to say you should hang out with Omega, but I mean, you're the same group. Of course you're dealing with the same issues. Fine, be that way. See if I care. You totally do care. This unit will proceed to base Omicron to back up unit data before shutdown protocols initial. Jamming ways actually hurt. Additional personnel changes may follow, but Stigma 4 will minimize disruption to cafe operations. This unit acknowledges the non-zero possibility it may return, but at least for the moment, it leaves the last dregs in your capable appendages. A compliment to Jamming Way. Farewell. Did you want to go after it? Have you moved past the anger stage yet? Yeah. You could, yeah, you got this. You can go get your friend. Oh, I don't know. This is horrible. We can't let N7000 enter permanent hibernation. What'll the cafe do without it? What'll I do? All right, I'm calm. Now, how do we stop it? Even if we can catch up to it before it reaches base Omicron, I doubt it will want to speak to me after my outburst. You go alone then. I'll take the time to gather my thoughts. Yeah, I don't think it's upset by your outburst. Idling unit. Request for personal data acknowledged. Scanning recent automatic transmissions of internal processing logs. Unit N7000 accessed the logical protocol's records of SIR and has been engaging in analysis and projection related to the same. The operational protocol governing these peculiar actions cannot be determined at this time. This unit wishes you a pleasant speculation. Thank you. Request for location data acknowledged. Searching base Omicron monitoring logs. Sensors detected N7000's progress toward the Fallow Portal. Fallow Portal. Oh, towards the new dream place. Gotcha. Calculations indicate it will have proceeded past the empty portal toward the limits of Ostracon Decahexi by the time code at which the organic life form can catch up. Alright, let's go chase it. Is it feeling introspective? It must be. The signals of an allied unit are not unwelcome, but why did you follow this unit here, Kokushu? I think it's okay to say you made several concerning comments. Excuse me. This unit has been analyzing logs originating from M017, alias Stigma-1, alias SIR, for some time now. As Unit M017, it repeatedly paid visit to the Tree of Life to analyze internal projections. The impetus for these actions was logged as personal reasons. In other words, when its protocols were insufficient, M017 came here to ponder its next course of action. This unit had hoped the tree might provide data for use in its current dilemma. No such data has been forthcoming. In retrospect, there is a non-zero possibility that M017 did not find what it was looking for here either. This unit cannot conceptualize actions outside of its original programming that might lead to its desired conclusion. All simulations, it's really tough to do that for anyone. All simulations of upcoming performance evaluation end in shutdown. The precise value of a future in which this unit carries on operating the cafe in service of our myriad patrons remains unknown, and thus cannot be mathematically comparable to that of a successful evaluation. Let me see that again. The precise value of a future in which... Right, so the value in which... So I don't know the value I'd have in continuing. And thus cannot be mathematically comparable to that of a successful evaluation. I don't quite understand what that means. Is it saying that it has no way of gauging how likely it is to be successful? This unit's preference remains constant. Does this preference then constitute a logical fallacy that must be discarded? Inconclusive. As a military information and operations specialist, this vacillation is most distressing. Further review of the objective reality is that the cafe has restored hope to multiple once fallen civilizations is not helping. Paradoxically, it appears to make this unit's memory overflow even worse. Why not listen to your heart rather than your calculations? Let's say yes, happiness will do that. I don't like, because I think it's resistant to the idea of a heart thing, because it doesn't really have one. I mean, it has an emotional core, it clearly does. Organic life forms pursue greater levels of happiness regardless of utility or lack thereof. However, as a mechanical life form, it is categorically impossible for this unit to experience emotions outside of predetermined programming, unless, then what do you call this hesitance? This hesitation. Unless allied units were correct, and this unit is truly not the same unit it once was. There you go. If all life forms reborn in Ultima Thule, including this unit, possess infinite potential in a mathematical sense, generating new projections, multi-sim mode initialized, shutting down auxiliary functions and overclocking processors. this unit is processing. I kind of love this. Warning, processing load critical, cannot accept additional inputs. Failure to step away from this unit may result in severe burns. Yeah, careful, it'll insult you. Though its state is worrisome, it seems you will be unable to interrupt N7000's processing queue at present. Perhaps you should bring jamming oil along to kick its bucket, or just let it process. Is that an option? I will not talk to it if it asks me to not do that. Look at this sad rabbit. All this worrying is exhausting, not to mention the yelling. Apologies for that, by the by. Did you find N7000? Is it all right? I recall seeing this "sir" in the logs. It did seem to have individualistic tendencies, now that you mention it. You would know its personal reasons better than I, of course, but it would not be the first nor the last to agonize over its existence. Yeah, it's kind of part of the requirement for even being an Ultima Thule, it seems. The choice to live is not made just the once, after all. No, I don't think it's a leap, or even a bunny hop, to assume that M01's M17 has struggled with much the same questions of purpose and potential that plague N7000. The Omicrons have very little experience with the self-doubt that comes from facing an indeterminate future. Very little experience with emotions in general, really. Does it not bother you that we've seen no changes to Elysian that could be attributed to N7000 and the other staff? The Dynamis reacted to my very first burst of hope and has reliably taken form for every civilization, but not them. They are the next project here. Our Omicrons do have emotions, of that I'm certain. I really am certain of that. I mean, it's clearly demonstrated. Precisely. Should our N7000 not have the power to shape Dynamis in spades? Look how successful it's been. Personally, I believe it does have that power, but every time it feels a little something, it shoves that emotion away under a pile of numbers and refuses to think about it ever again. That's a mood. It needs to allow itself to feel that joy, that hope, for it to grow and blossom in Elysian. None of this waste of energy, word, time to die, bollocks. Honestly, does it ever think about anyone else? Mark my words, I'm going to gather... I think all it thinks about is others. Like it's trying to avoid thoughts of itself. I'm going to gather every scrap of joy we've created here and shove them right down its stupid throat. We'll need to be quick if we want to prepare before N7000 finishes processing and finds a way to infuriate me even more. We're certainly not allowing it to shuffle off its metal coil today or ever. First, though, we'll need to choose a recipe, one guaranteed to remind it of what we've accomplished here at the Last Dregs, and give it a taste of this boundless happiness yet to come. I'm certain Stigma 4 can dig out something out of its database that can represent our culinary achievements without proving an electrocution hazard. Wait just a moment, I hope so. It has to be like a chip of some kind, inserting like a memory into it, maybe. Like letting it experience a taste of something else. Jamming away. Here we are. Thrusters disengaged, N7000 not detected, awaiting promised explanation. It's quite a long story. Yeah, it's quite a lot to distribute. A lot of info. Circumstances acknowledged. N7000 logs transmitted to central database confirm the accuracy of managerial report. Conclusion reached by N7000 also confirmed accurate. Operational protocols are absolute. Completion of mission necessitates permanent hibernation. You don't get other missions? I don't think I'll ever understand your culture's obsession with productivity. However, running in multi-sim mode for prolonged periods poses unacceptable risks to hardware. Immediate intervention recommended. Aha! Not quite the sympathetic response I was looking for, but it'll do. As for your intervention, I propose the presentation of a delicious dish that will bring N7000 back to its senses. What do you think it would like? Doesn't eat, does it? Invalid input. Preferences are irrelevant to mechanical life forms. What N7000 requires is refrigerant liquid. A cooling beverage, then. I think we can manage that. Are you just going to pour like a smoothie into its gullet? Can you search your database for local ingredients we might use? N7000 always seemed to know what it was doing, so I've never bothered learning where anything is. Okay. Gaseous. Bing! Gaseous matter suitable for condensation and subsequent ingestion. Contained in ovular ore samples in Ostracontria. Approximate coordinates. Okay, so this has got to be very based on what my gathering profession is. That's very specific to mining. Managerial praise is unnecessary. Scanning the database is well within standard operational protocols. Production of vital liquids such as refrigerants and oils is also standard protocol for a logistic matrix. However, cafe operations have repeatedly demonstrated that standard chemical formulae are insufficient impetus for the alteration of dynamis. This is where cafe management must intervene. Allied Unit N7000 is depending on you. Do not fail. Don't you worry, Stigma 4. We would never let our allied units down. I leave the procurement of the primary ingredient to you, Kakushu. In the meantime, I'll see what else might be mechanically digestible around here. I have faith in you. N7000 coordinates confirmed. Subject remains immobile. Retrieval unit will be dispatched to Ostracon Decahexy momentarily. Methane egg. All right then. Okay. I dare say Stigma 4 will be dragging N7000 back here any moment now. Did you find the gassy whatsits? I did. Here, have 3 gassy whatsits. Missions ahoy! Now we just need to condense this. Perhaps shake it up with other bits and bobs for the proper cocktail experience. I hear the shaking, the pouring. Presentation is certainly nice. I'm not going to try it, but... Emergency override command prompt exec chug.cmd. How are you going to... Oh, it's back. Okay, you brought it back. I didn't see it here. Beverage protocols initiated. Please wait. Look at its little grabby claws, all excited. The last dregs. This unit would like to register its confusion. You miserable sack of sockets, bolt-head, weird-looking fork. I'll kick your bucket into the next galaxy. Ah yes, this unit remembers now. Dialogue with the screeching life form had reached an impasse, so it withdrew to organize its thought processes in peace. The unit became trapped in a processing loop and overheated, but temperatures are now nominal. As your civilization would say, whoo. So, sorry, I'm scratching my eyes so much. Cat fur. So you're feeling better? That's the best news I've heard all day. No thanks to you. This unit's circuits are still somewhat muddled. Reviewing event log for flags associated with mission to live. Results of recalculated projections located. Proceeding to Elysian to confirm. I wonder what's going to be at. You could at least explain yourself. I wonder what's going to be, what its section of Elysian is going to look like. Is it going to be like dreamy Allegan? Like robotic or what? It sounds like it's expecting some change to the dynamis. What sort? I have no idea. After it. I wasn't expecting this. A forest? Did N7000 do this? It's way more organic than I was expecting. It's got those crystals like little bunny ears up top. like the same color. You owe us a very thorough report. I don't think it probably quite knows. Affirmative. As you may have detected since the birth of Elysian, this unit's self-determination algorithm has been in conflict with its core protocols. The issue has been surpassingly difficult to resolve. The cooling solution that you made, however, enabled this unit to arrive at a conclusion. It is confident in the result of its performance evaluation. First, a thought experiment for allied units. How has this unit transformed the landscape of Elysian, despite its nature as a replicated mechanical life form? Your nature doesn't matter. Here now you are alive. Future was always possible. Now you've made it real. Your strength of heart, I'd say. I say the future was always possible. Now you've made it real. You've seen it through. A future in which the metal warriors came to love the forests of a distant star. It is a bittersweet possibility, but it holds a beauty all its own. Thank you, Kakushu. This unit will keep your words close to its heart. In the history of the universe, countless possibilities have gone unfulfilled, but it is an error to thus consign them to the realm of the impossible. All the Dynamis requires is that we ask, what if? Where are those from somewhere else in the game? While sentient life forms remain to ask that question, to dream of unrealized futures, this unit cannot agree with the Aya's conclusion that the end of the universe is inevitable. Our data proves that miracles happen. N7000 talking about miracles is not something I expected to happen today. Took you long enough. Honestly, you gave me quite a fright with that shutdown nonsense. Interesting. Would you miss this unit if it were gone, Jammingway? Jammingway? Requesting acknowledgement of warm and fuzzy feelings. Do it. Say yes. Never in a billion years, Bultbrain. Deny, deny, deny. Give it a hug. I guess, you know what? It's saying deny, deny, denied was its way of communicating its warm and fuzzy feelings. That's how I'm taking it. In any case, this unit recognizes the role the Alphatron star played in cutting the future of many civilizations short. Together with allied managers, the Omicrons have restored hope to some such civilizations. Look at the happy little Grebulov. And assisted in developing Elysian to its current state. The star now teems with life, some of it newly born. Yeah, there they are. Calculations may say that this is sufficient to fulfill this unit's mission, but this unit disagrees. What we have accomplished thus far is a significant step toward a new future for the Omicrons, but not the last. You got more to do. This unit believes in infinite possibilities, beyond the projection capabilities of even Stigma 4. Alongside our allies of the last dregs, we must continue to make them real. We shall atone, and we shall live. Lovely. A worthy purpose, if you ask me, which you ought, given that I'm still your business partner and best friend. Gladly acknowledged, Jammingway. Look at it do a little pirouette of joy. Come to think of it, we never toasted our achievements or shared a drink at all. What kind of cafe managers are we? I brought some refrigerant cocktail along with my normal supplies in case someone needed another wake-up call. What do you say we have a picnic? It just says yes immediately. I love this. Look at that Omicron just casually lounging on the ground. The last drag specialty carrot juice for us, of course. I never go anywhere without it. You know, when I proposed this idea, I was thinking of the cafes on Aetheris, how the people inside smiled and laughed and spoke of tomorrow. Is vegetable juice good? I've never had V8. I might try it. We've been focused on providing our customers with the same experience naturally, but that's also what the last dregs is to us, isn't it? Yes. Affirmative, this unit would go so far as to assert that spending time with friends in this fashion is meaningful. I can't get over that, the bottom right Omicron just lounging, and look at them like playing around. This sense of satisfaction is what organic life forms persistently term happiness, is it not? I've heard it described as such. It does make me reflect. I'm almost 40 years old. I don't have a whole lot going on. I have some good stuff and some middle-of-the-road stuff. Not a lot of great stuff. And if things go well, like if health holds up and all that, I'm probably halfway in. At best, at very best. I gotta get moving on some stuff. Jamming away. That was the best carrot juice I've had in my whole loprit life. That raises several questions, but this unit will restrain itself in favor of thanking Kukushu once again for her assistance in its time of need. This unit apologizes for burdening you with additional shifts. No worries. I note that you have yet to apologize to me for the distress you've caused. This unit has been distressed numerous times due to unwarranted screeching from the hyperbole-prone lifeform, and thus considers us even. They are the best of frenemies. They're not even frenemies. They're just like sassy friends. Like constantly teasing and ribbing each other, and I love it. See if I save your sorry metal scrap metal ever again, you will. Additionally, this unit would prefer that, as business partners, we provide mutual assistance as a matter of course. That is what organic life forms mean by partnership, is it not? So long as you hold up your part of the bargain, we're going to keep the last dregs open until the very end of the universe. And beyond. No universe is ending on our watch. The Pirouette of Joy. Tribal quest complete, and we got one more to go. I thought this was the last one, but I was wrong. There's a level beyond this. Mew Miss Horn. We get a mount at this point. Let's check this out. Born at Elysian with the hopes of the Ea, this peculiar dynamis life form possesses a semi-transparent body reminiscent of a jellyfish and can deliver a sting of sort with the lightning it harbors. There's no greater pleasure for it than to connect with others in the microcosm of its heart. Literally. Okay. Summon forth Mew Missive. Living proof that hope springs eternal and in unexpected shapes. Damn right it does. And look at me. I'm floating. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. I'm floating inside it. This is so cool. It's like this is one of the cooler mounts I've seen yet. It really is. And look at my little floating self. Like I'm doing the Superman thing. This is incredible. This is a really great mount. At long last, we've arrived at the Omicron quest. At long last, we've arrived. The Omicrons are at 1730 out of 1730. Max Sworn, final quest. Life, the universe, and coffee beans. Bless it. Precisely 86,400,000 time codes have passed since our latest brewing incident. A new record. This unit's mission satisfaction could not be higher. Excellent. Good job. Safety first. I don't know about you, but I think we deserve a break. Care to join us for a tall glass of carrot juice? Carrot coffee is also an option. Though I would hate to risk our safety record. Good lord, carrot coffee. This unit notes that carrots are still disproportionately represented on the menu, but accepts your invitation. Look at them being buddies. Now that's impossible. They've come so far. The last dregs certainly has come a long way. Remember when the counter was dusty and musty? I do. That was a long time ago. Probably a month. It was probably a half year ago. I don't know when. It was like late. I'd have to check when. I'm actually going to check this right now. When did I first start this quest line? The first video I have stored from it was from December. January, February, March. It was literally half a year ago. Oh my god. I still don't know what civilization originally built these structures, but I like to think they'd be happy to see what we've done with the place. Perhaps they ran a cafe of their own long ago. Actually, while you're here, can I trouble you to check in with the patrons? And if my voice has changed, if I look different, if anything like that is, like, across this video is the case, it's because this video took basically 6 to 7 months to make. A little over 6 months. Well, as you know, customer satisfaction's our priority, and they wouldn't dare fob you off with a platitude. All right, so we got a group here. We'll talk with the Grebulovs first. This place, I love it here. It reminds me of home almost as much as the sea on Elysian. And such a pristine sea it is. Each time I devour a delicious fish, I reaffirm my vow to protect it. 1 serving of the fish, please. Yeah, I'm an SCP fan, and I'm thinking of how garlic powder tamed the greatest SCP. 50-something, I don't remember, the Yet Another Murder Monster. One of my favorite stories in sci-fi or horror or anything like that. The Volgan's reading, anyway. Proud says, it has been quite some time since I began cooperating with this lout, hasn't it? Though I can scarce believe it myself, we are as allies now. Some even call us friends, to which I take offense, of course, perish the thought. As if you don't wander over to my side of the garden half a dozen times per shift to raise your suggestions. Perhaps people would possess a more accurate conception of our relationship if you did not so clearly crave my insight. I like these two quite a lot. Still, I've come to believe that anyone who enjoys the last dregs as much as I can't be all bad. Even if he has poor taste in helmets. I do like the Defiant Fighter's helmet better. And the Aya. I don't have any remembrance of what voice I gave them. Yes, the translation... oh, no, yes, that's right. It was the friggin', the Moonanite voice. Yes, the transmission of other beings' gustatory perception has been most effective. I believe I should like to experience haptic transmissions next. These burns to the tongue reported by the beings that consume coffee rapidly sound intriguing. Why do you hasten so? There are yet many gustatory sensations we must experience. The Corellians and Grebulov's perceptions were illuminating. Argumentative Aya. The atmosphere, too, is quite enjoyable, though the other beings are naturally unequipped to discuss the finer mysteries of the universe. The idle chatter pleases me. In fact, I've hardly rebuked anyone at all. Yeah, you've become as down-to-earth as floating, weird, immortal things can be. And the dragon. Thy consideration is appreciated, hero. For me 'tis enough to gaze upon the tiny desert and feel the wind upon my scales. Indeed, the true winds of Elysian are divine, yet I find myself drawn to the pastry nonetheless. I love that a noble ancient dragon in an eternal torment gets to say, I find myself drawn to the pastry nonetheless. The sentiment by which thou didst create it warmeth my heart even now. You've done well here. Allow this data unit to thank you in the perpetually anxious life form's stead. Your data collection is appreciated. I am not perpetually anxious. This is a normal amount of concern. But yes, thank you, Kakushu. How did you find our customers? I found them by looking around. They were right there. Thank goodness, they're still enjoying themselves. I would hate to play host to any more fistfights or firefights or food fights. Data from Barista Unit M104 indicates that patron numbers are only increasing. Business future secure. What's money here? I don't think there is money, right? It's just like the joy of work and the joy of consumption. Though this unit personally wishes us to seek out even more civilizations, data nevertheless. Much of the universe remains to be restored to life and hope. That's true. You have like an eternal task ahead of you. It's like a delicious, joyful version of Sisyphus. Incoming transmission from Stigma 4. New life. Allied units, there is new life on Elysian. Scans indicate more than one additional life form. I have no idea who this is going to be. Oh, don't bore us with the logs. If it's worth scanning, it's worth seeing. Is it going to be Medion's group? Like whatever her, like the bird people? Is it going to be an Asian? That's my guess. I'm going to guess it's the Ancients. I'm going to guess it's the Ancients. The ancient Ethereans. This unit will not spoil any further revelations. Let us proceed. I don't think they would do that in like a quest like this, actually. I take it back. I don't know what it's... Little dragonlings! Oh, that's even better. It's tied to the story in a way that... Okay, I like this a lot better. I like this better. Sweet mother, Stigma 4 wasn't kidding. Not that it can. Look over there. What am I looking at? It wasn't the drag. I thought we were looking at dragonlings. We might have gotten again. This was months ago. I last did it, so we might have seen the dragonlings last time. What are you doing here? Are you the ones who worship the butterfly? It's super disconnected for me. But the dead ends. Are you the ones from the dead ends? Nihilistic Nibiran. As your companion suggested, we have traversed the dead worlds of Ultima Thule. We have seen its despair. We have seen the tragedy of the forgotten and the sorrow of those who forget themselves. This is well. Yet this star is different. There is life here. There is change. This unit understands this is difficult for you to accept. The mission is to live is no simple matter. Right, these are the people who came, like, at the end who we couldn't convince, I think. I think I do, or it does ring a bell now. Then why do you grasp for life in a universe that will one day die? Why seek to change that which cannot be changed? Oh god, I love how this ties into the themes of Endwalker so powerfully. This unit hopes you will not take this as a personal attack, but it would assert that a broad perspective is required. It is true that each civilization is vulnerable. A single particle of despair placed in the right code, the right body, the right mind, can spread like a virus. Boy, I wonder if anyone else has days like this where just things fall apart, where one small thing sets it off and you feel like you can't do anything after that. I think that's part of the normal human experience. But I hate those days. Yet there is more than one civilization in this universe. The disease that kills one spares another. The sorrow that consumes one drives the others to seek joy. It's like a pebble. It's like you have these complex gears and a single pebble, like, breaks it all. Together we survive, together we see beyond our limitations, and together we find reason to hope. So long as we live, so long as we have even one reason to hope, the dynamis will change for us. Beyond our despair lies an infinitude of miracles. We need only open our receptors to them. Part of the joy of gaming, I think, is it's just so many different types of joy. And joy and pain and frustration and anger, and it's a whole art form. It really is, in my opinion. We obtained physical life eternal and complete mental resonance to determine that existence is meaningless. Despite all of that, you say we were wrong. Argumentative Ea. Please refrain from leaping to conclusions. Whether the inherent meaning of life or lack thereof can be proven by the existence of miracles remains up for debate. Yeah, you're not the only one who's found eternity. We got backup. That little dragonette. I do remember we saw them last time. We Ea have grappled with such questions since time immemorial. You are welcome to join us for further discussion and gustatory stimulation at the cafe before deciding that your civilization was replete with buffoons. I love the Ea's backup. To have the Ea on my side. We got him. We got him. So long as you keep the doom and gloom confined to your conversation with mentally unflappable beings, that should be fine. And who knows, a nice cup of coffee might cheer you up a bit. This unit can vouch for the utility of our beverages in processing philosophical conundrums. I don't even like coffee, but I love being in places that have coffee, because I'll get like something like a sweet latte or something like that, and I just read for, I haven't done this in a while. I used to do that and just sit and study or read for an hour. I miss that. I'm going to do that more. Coffee houses are fantastic. That too. Perhaps they'll even find something new to ponder. It's the little things, as they say. Of course, you would say that. There will be time enough for all civilizations to find hope for the future, given the proposed eternal opening schedule. This unit has set reminders to look out for the end of the universe. In case additional menu items are required, there's that Douglas Adams reference in the name. The restaurant at the end of the universe, for anyone who hasn't read the book. That's what I like to hear. Less fatalism, more carrots of happiness. So we're going to be with them, right? Scene's going to switch to the, yeah. We have to explore the New Elysian when we have a bit more time. These developments are pleasing, but whence did they originate? Changes occurred soon after Kakushu asked her customers to reflect on their experience at the cafe, no? Perhaps realizing how happy they are increased their faith in a brighter future. And perhaps even the Nibiruun were moved by the sight of a world that had not fallen to despair. Yeah, sometimes just seeing that others have made it is motivation enough, is proof enough. In any case, the value of our mission is clear. You bet it is. It's so nice to not have to do all the emotional lifting around here anymore. That's true. N7000 is really bringing their all to bear. Do come back and join us from time to time, Kakushu. We'll be here forever. Not a fate I would wish on anyone. I don't care how happy your journey is. Eternity is terrifying. Affirmative, your labor has been greatly valued. We would be delighted to assign you shifts at any time. No, don't cut sip, because... This unit jests, your friendship is also valued. N7000 has grown so much. Should you ever need a place to process, you are always welcome for a beverage of indeterminate nature at the last dregs. I love it. I absolutely love it. And where I am right now, there's not an easily walk-toable coffee place. I gotta find one. I gotta find one near me. Tribal quest complete. Reputation up. We are blood sworn. Look at this. This was great. This was fantastic. I'm so impressed with how they've tied everything to the story of 14, to the story of Endwalker in particular. Anything new in the vending unit? What is this? Is this new? Tools for enhancing portraits and adventurer plates. Used to unlock embellishments fit for an allied unit. Okay. And the Cradle of Hope orchestration roll. We have not gotten that yet. So I don't think I've used one of these before. I haven't messed too much with my portrait. You've acquired the portrait elements encased in the framer's kit. Okay. There's me. There's my shocked Lalafell. Edit plate design, I guess it is. Last dregs. Look at that, and we have the Stigma 4 in the bottom right. I love it. Perfect. Okay. That's worth it. And let's let me check what the orchestration rule is. This is Cradle of Hope. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. So that's going to be it for me for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you... I can't stop here. What am I thinking? Now this is it. This is where we'll stop for today. Brina, stop spinning. That's it for me for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. It has been a journey. A journey through time at the very least. And my next thing is going to be taking a look at the Pandemonium trials and starting the Rabbit, the Loprit tribal quest. I haven't done crafting in quite a while. Yeah, all my crafting stuff is still like the level 80 with level 70 gear. I'm gonna have to like relearn. They've changed a lot. I'm gonna have to relearn a bunch of crafting stuff. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.